I came to understand that all the intelligence business, which was the core of the Cold War for many years, was good for nothing. And the spy agencies such as the KGB inflicted more damage to their own countries than to their supposed adversary. So I came to understand that this is a waste of time, of efforts, of money, big money. And sometimes it looks like comedy, but this comedy makes a lot of people very much unhappy and desperate. And so my idea was to describe the truth, the internal world, the inner world of a huge KGB service as it was, as I saw it. I left the KGB in protest because it was a sham. And I didn't want to make my living participating in the sham. And the immediate reason was that it was clear for me, at least a year before August 91 coup d'etat in the Soviet Union, that KGB was the driving force, and it was preparing for this coup d'etat. So one day they gave us handguns and instructed us to get ready to shoot our own citizens if they rush into our headquarters. And so then I came to understand that the stupidity, bureaucratic stupidity in the KGB borders crime. Soviet society, this is a special one. It has a special flavor for secrecy, for mystery. So this profession had a special clout in the Soviet society. And when I graduated the university in Moscow in 1980, and I was offered a job with the KGB intelligence service, it was an honor in many senses, because it suggested that I would be involved in politics, higher politics, like it was supposed to be. And we were told that we would be an elite of the Soviet society, and we actually were, because we were aware of something that lots of people simply had no idea about. I am living, because of this book, I am living as a political immigrant here.
Will you
take
U.S. citizenship eventually?
Well, I would tell that Russia is still my country, and I love this country, and the only reason I'm here is that there is no way to return back, because after the publication of this book, the spokesman for the Russian intelligence service publicly said in his interview to Russian newspaper that with this book I risk my life, both in Russia and in the United States. Well, I'm not so much concerned about my life in the United States, but I'm sure that there is no way to return back now to Russia.
How often did you know in the recent 20 years or so has a KGB agent in this country come to this country and recruited an American to work for the Soviets?
Yeah. I would tell that I recruited Socrates in 1987, I mean officially, but basically he was recruited, we had an understanding with him in 1986. For at least 15 years before that, not a single KGB officer in the United States, not just in Washington, but in New York and in San Francisco, where we had our station, ever recruited a single agent in this territory. And it brought me into trouble. I mean, the idea with the KGB, the deputy chief of North American department suggested, shortly before I left Moscow for Washington, that there is no need to go into the streets or elsewhere to look for agents and trying to recruit them. His idea was that we should sit and wait until they come. It was a pattern of the KGB operation. So the successes they had with Walker spy ring, with Pelton, with Ames, suggest that these so-called successes were due to greed. You should worry now about the capability of Russian mafia, because the best KGB officers work now for Russian mafia. And they are not bound by the law. They don't have to fight with this Russian bureaucracy anymore, and they're very good professionals, because they're very good trained. And I would tell you that now they worked in the countries where they used to spy.